Well, before I started applying breathing normalization method, I had, to me, kind of severe asthma in the sense that I didn't have the type of asthma that I would wake up in the middle of the night with asthma attacks, but my asthma was induced by multiple things. So I had very severe allergies, really severe sinus trouble, and anything that I was allergic to would trigger an asthma attack. So it used to be where it would trigger, would trigger the sinuses, and then it developed into triggering, coughing and asthma. And so when, with anything, with cats or outdoor allergies, exercise-induced asthma, all of these things triggered an asthma attack. So my doctor had me on multiple medications and multiple inhaled steroids that didn't really help for that, because those were really for someone that would have bronchial constriction or, during just without doing anything or at night. And so since mine were triggered by environment or exercise, that didn't really work for me. And I was using my rescue inhaler multiple times a day, over 10 times, 12 times a day. And my doctor had actually prescribed for me to use my rescue inhaler preventatively, so that I, when I was going to be into a situation or when I was going to exercise, that I would use it so that I wouldn't have that problem, which did help, but it made my body very dependent on using rescue inhaler in order to have her breath. So I just became very dependent on that, and I couldn't even take a quick jaunt from my house to the car and back without needing to use a rescue inhaler. It would just flare up, and I would just get, I would sweat, I would just have trouble breathing immediately, and I would have to take time or use my rescue inhaler in order to get that back. And after applying breathing normalization, within a very short period of time, a couple of weeks, my body no longer created these symptoms and these reactions. And in conversations with my doctor, he said, if you don't need to use the rescue inhaler, obviously don't use it. So I was able to reduce the use of the rescue inhaler preventatively, since I didn't feel like I really needed it, and I never went back. I never had to use it again. And then in further, conversations with him, I no longer needed any of the medications that weren't working anyway. So I was able to completely wean myself off of all of those asthma medications in order, just by applying the breathing normalization method. And then as far as my allergies were concerned, they were greatly reduced as well, since my body wasn't really creating those symptoms anymore, and I wasn't having such strong reactions to, the environment and athletic-induced asthma and those types of things anymore. So I was able to reduce my allergy medicines as well, and I was on prescription allergy medicine because over-the-counter medicine didn't work, and I was able to first, reduce to over-the-counter and then to where I don't really need it at all. When I'm immersed in very serious, lots of allergens at once, I may have very small reactions, but it's nothing like it was before. It would escalate into really severe illness, and to the point where I couldn't even go outside. I actually lost an apartment because of my allergies, because part of the stipulation was I needed to do yard work, mow the lawn and things of that nature, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't be outside, and I was actually told by my doctor not to go outside, not to be outside in the spring and summer, and just stay inside as much as possible, because my allergies were so bad, and I would just go into a complete illness where I literally would be in bed for like a week, and I would just be really, sick with coughing and asthma, and just it would develop past a typical, stuffy nose allergy. It would develop into full-blown illness for me. And I don't really have that anymore after applying the method. And I no longer really take anything since I started, which has been about, I guess, 10 months now. I think there's only been one time where, the season got really, really bad where I just felt the need to take something, but most times I don't need to take anything. I don't have any reactions. I'm able to be outside. I'm able to enjoy doing things I want to do. I'm able to exercise without a problem, without worrying about my breathing. And I guess for me, the most important thing that I've gotten out of breathing normalization is having a positive, healthy relationship with my breathing and not being afraid of my breathing anymore. I feared my breathing before. Like, I feared being into a situation that would make me go into a suffocation attack. And now I don't have that fear anymore. And there's a sense of freedom that goes with learning the method of knowing that you know how to deal with anything that may come up. You know how to adjust that with the method, and you have a positive relationship with your breathing because you just become very aware and it becomes second nature, and you don't even have to really think about it. You just do it automatically, and that freedom has been the best thing for me.